did forget to say this was Denise Richards' first starring role. I did forget to add that. So I added in now. Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do a little something different with my review. I am just going to talk about the movie, not add a trailer, and see if you guys like this a little bit better. I still eventually add trailers to it, or I might just talk about them. I don't know, but this movie I'm just going to talk about. I just got done watching Tammy and the T-Rex. It's a 1994 movie. It is PG-13. It's on Shudder right now. And if you don't have Shudder, I definitely recommend it. They do not sponsor me, but I would definitely. It's only $5 a month, and you get the Creep Show series. They just added another series that is popular, which I haven't seen yet. It's called The Marshes. They do have original content every now and then, like Boar and Ranger, and which those you should definitely check out. I'm not sure if they're still on there, but definitely. Boar has Bill Moseley in it, and it is great. The effects are not the greatest. They do use practical effects though, but that's good. The Ranger's a good movie. At least I think they're both good. But anyway, back to Tammy and the T-Rex. This is like the most 90s flick I have ever seen. But they do use practical effects. It kind of reminds me of those old movies like The Land Before Time and stuff with the dinosaurs kind of almost claymation. It's a little bit better than claymation type dinosaur, but it's definitely a 90s movie. It has a young Paul Walker in it. It has Denise Richards in it. You know, the Noxzema girl. I guess she was also in Wild Things. It has these guys, I forget their real names, but it has Roach from People Under the Stairs and Malachi from Children of the Corn. And Malachi's older in this movie, obviously. And it has the guy that played Bernie in Weekend at Bernie's, and this movie is so funny. And I think it was kind of meant to be funny. Apparently, when it was aired, or like when it was released or something, it was heavily cut and censored for TV. Shudder has it right now with everything in it. It's not super gore. It has little bits, but it's a 90s flick, so nothing looks super real. But it does have like gore to it, but it is PG-13. But this movie is so funny, and they have this funny Wizard of Oz reference in it, which is hilarious. I don't want to give away too much of it because I'll kind of spoil a little bit of the movie, but definitely check out the Wizard of Oz reference. Check this movie out. It is hilarious, goofy. If you need to be reminded of like the 90s type error, this movie is by far, I think, I know Scream I think was in the 90s too, but it had a little bit better like blood effects and whatnot to it. This is more like the blood effects are more kind of like 80s, 70s, 80s type stuff, but yeah, it's great. I just watched it, but I like the goofy, corny, silly movies. And Tammy and the T-Rex. One thing I watched, which I think it might be a typo, but I played it all the way to the credits, and it's called Tammy and the T-Rex. They call Denise Tammy through the whole movie, but in the credits it says Tanny with 2 N's instead of 2 M's. I don't know why that is, or if that was a typo, or what was going on with that, but it does say Tanny instead of Tammy, which makes no sense because the title of the movie is actually Tammy with M's. But yeah, I guess so. I guess Vinegar Syndrome. I think I have that right. Like released it again with all of everything in it, and Shudder got a hold of it, and so it's on Shudder right now. Definitely invest the $5. They usually have a month free trial where you can check it out. But if you don't know, if you're not from like the 90s, or if you just haven't just got introduced to Joe Bob Briggs, and we used to have the Monster Vision back in the 90s. He is back now, and he does marathons on Shudder. Um, we had the most awesome male girl ever, in my opinion, anyway, and Darcy. And but Joe Bob's on there. He does marathons. He does a weekly series. It's first season's already up there, but it's not playing. Like when something airs, it airs kind of. It's previously taped, but they air it like live, and you can go and talk. Apparently, there's a group on Discord that chats. I'm not. I think there was something else that people get on and chat. There's usually Twitter conversation. Twitter is usually trending Joe Bob or whatever marathon it's called. That's usually trending when he has a thing going on, and then they live tweet and talk to the people, and it's fun. I participate in the Twitter conversations, and because I think the only one I missed was the Halloween Hootenanny, and I've only been able to kind of watch one movie out of that because he had three of Halloween. He had the original Halloween and I think 4 and 5. I'm not sure about the other two because I only got to watch the first one of it, and because I've been doing so much watching other movies, I haven't got a chance to go back and revisit that thing. So I didn't watch it live, and I've always watched them all live. It's like as soon as they post, and if you turn on like an hour beforehand, they have this screen and they have this really cool kind of background music. But yeah, definitely if you like Joe Bob, know who Joe Bob is, check it out. Watching it live, and don't get it through Amazon or anything. Get the Shudder app, because Amazon doesn't have the live TV feature, and you'll miss out on like that opening scene. Like I'm telling you on Joe Bob, that like the hour before, the prep of the hour before of Joe Bob, you miss that because that's on the live TV only. The Shudder through Amazon does not have that, and it's the same price, I believe. Just get the Shudder regular. Do not get it through Amazon. Just get the normal Shudder app, and if you ever have issues with it, like if it's buffering, whatever, just log out. Sometimes you have to uninstall it and reinstall it because it's an app. Sometimes it crash or can't keep up with updates. But just, it's usually an easy fix. And everybody wants to hate on Shudder. And I know I've kind of went off the movie thing and started talking about Shudder, but Tammy is on Shudder. But yeah, I don't know why there's so much hate on Shudder. They have decent movies. They have a lot of movies. I never heard of Tammy and the T-Rex until it came onto Shudder. I don't know how that one flew under my radar, because I was actually into horror movies at this time, because I was introduced to Joe Bob and I was watching stuff like that, and because I've been a fan of Joe Bob since Monster Vision time. But anyway, enough about the Shudder app. Oh, I should say enough about the Shudder, because you have to get the Shudder to see Tammy, because I don't think it's on any other platform. But check out Tammy and the T-Rex. If you like a fun, silly B movie that's so 90s, check this movie out. It's good fun. And have fun watching. And I am working on my spirit box session I did the other day, or yesterday, I think it was. But the speaker's so low, I know I had responses, but I'm having trouble hearing them. And so I don't know if I'll just post it without the little, what I think it's saying, if I just post it as is, or if I'm going to keep trying to hear what is being said. Because it's so low that I can't, maybe somebody with better hearing can listen to it and know what's being said. And you can definitely hear this. There's responses. It's just with my hearing, I have trouble trying to hear and listen to what's being said. So, Spirit Box is coming. I'm working on trying to figure out what's being said in it. I have like a 12-minute, I think it is, video of a Spirit Box session in this location right here. So, it is coming. I'm working on it. I just can't quite hear, so I might just leave it as is and post it with no words and see what y'all hear. But I think that's enough of me rambling. See, if I don't have my script, or not really script, if I don't have my notes, I just keep going on and on and on and on. So if you like this more of me just talking about the movies, let me know. If you want me to be more like, read my notes and go over stuff, and I also have my opinion as well. But let's say I'll get sidetracked easily. I went from Tammy and T-Rex to raving on Shudder and talking about Joe Bob, which Tammy isn't yet anyway, a part of the Joe Bob specials, but because Tammy got added on since the last special, because he had a Christmas one, that was his last one. But yeah, definitely check out Tammy and T-Rex. Look into getting Shudder, especially if you're a horror fan and you like kind of the more obscure, I would say, type movies. A lot of that gets put on there, like Dude Party Massacre 3 or something like that. I don't know if it's still on there, but Death Orgasm, that movie, oh my gosh, it is so funny. Now, I would have never watched that movie if it wouldn't have been added to one of the Joe Bob specials. I believe it was the TV series that he had, The Last Drive-In. There is a sword fight in this movie. That's, I'm not sure if YouTube will allow me to say what they use as actual swords. It's not an actual body part, but it's like a body part, if you get what I'm saying. But it is so funny, but I never knew how funny that movie was. I just saw the name, and I thought it was like about kind of like death metal and whatnot, and I'm not really super into that, so I'm just like, I don't really want to see it. And I used to have Horror Block, which was like a nerd block thing that sent you like a bunch of goodies each month, like a t-shirt. Like if you see me wearing a lot of my horror t-shirts, probably 90% of the horror t-shirts I got from having this Horror Block or going to cons itself. But they don't have it no more, unfortunately, which I was sad about. I loved my Horror Block, but I'd actually gotten the Blu-ray through Horror Block, never opened it up, and I was like, I don't think I'll see this movie. Then Joe Bob played it, and it is good fun. It is so funny. But yeah, the sword fight. But anyway, I'm going on again. I think I'm probably worse than Joe Bob. At least Joe Bob's more entertaining when he goes on his little rants. But anyway, definitely look into getting Shudder. Check out Tammy and the T-Rex. It's good fun, especially if you like this 90s type. This is so 90s. This is telling you right now, this movie is so 90s. It is hilarious. There's a lot of kind of crude jokes and whatnot in it. There's a character named Byron in it that is super funny. And anyway, I tried to look him up on IMDb, and there wasn't anything besides this. Well, he had other stuff, but nothing that I recognized him for or knew him from. But he was so funny. He was probably one of the funnier characters of this. They have the goofy cops and whatnot, and this is just such a 90s movie. Definitely check it out. I went on for 15 minutes and probably talked about Tammy for 5. So, anyways, definitely check it out. Let me know if you like this kind of review a little bit better than you'd like, where I actually have my notes and stay on topic a little bit better and give you a little bit more facts and whatnot. Like what I was saying about Tammy being super censored for TV and whatnot. That was in the like synopsis for Shudder. That's how I got that. I didn't really put much research into Tammy and the T-Rex before I had my little video. But like I said, definitely check it out. It has like a 5.1 star on IMDb. I would say I'd give it a 6. I like these type of movies, but definitely check it out. Look into getting Shudder. There's so much in there. It's like Netflix for horror fans, and it's only $5, and you don't get commercials. At least during the movie, there's no commercials. But anyway, check it out. Have fun watching. Spirit Box is coming. I just haven't decided if I want to post it as is or if I'm going to try to attempt to put what I think it's saying in the thing, because I'm just having such a hard time hearing it. I'm not saying it would be hard for other people to hear it. It's just with my hearing, I'm having trouble hearing what's being said. But you could definitely tell there's responses. But definitely, Spirit Box is coming. I promise. It's either going to be with or without text. But Spirit Box is coming. Maybe by tomorrow. I'll give it today and try to work on it. But have fun watching and go check out Tammy.